Okay, well, hello everyone. Hello science teachers. Welcome to a real quick tutorial on how to use the awesome resource that our little team put together over the summer for grade 9 D-Stream Science. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to access it and show you, because a lot of people don't necessarily use Microsoft groups and or Microsoft OneNote, but we put a lot of great resources in, so we just want to make sure you guys can really get a chance to use it, use everything effectively. So to get to our little group and share our stuff and add to it, we'll get you to log in Office 365. So I've done that, and I've gone into Outlook. I'll show you how you go through it. You can go through it first like this, and then I'll show you how to connect the OneNote little notebook that we made to the actual app, and then you can run it through the app after that, or you can go through this way. So when you're in Outlook, you'll notice that we have a little section here for your favorites and a section for your folders, and then if you go down, you will see that there is a section for groups. And this is what we are going to want to get, is go to the group part right here. And you can see that highlighted. And so you'll see that you've probably gotten an email from me saying, hey, welcome to this group. Don't click that email because a lot of people click it and then don't know where to go. Just find the grade 9 D-Stream Science resource. You'll see that in your groups. It's probably the easiest thing to do. And if you click on that, it'll take you to our little page. What's nice is when you get there, all these emails, so if I send an email out to all you, and you'll notice that the email that the link to this video has been sent in is in here. You'll see your little welcome email to everyone in the group right up there. Probably be the top email. So what you're going to do is, because it's Microsoft and they don't make it super user friendly, is you have to, for this one time, sort of go looking. And you're going to click on the little 3 dots here. All right, and we're going to get you to go to the site, because the site is a really rich resource. We've got lots of stuff here there. And so now we're on the site, and once we're on the site, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can use. You'll see that if anyone has uploaded any documents, they will be popped up right there. All the documents that you want are in here. And so you can see, you can go in and grab all the stuff. And what we'll do is we'll start to organize this a little bit more, put more things into folders and stuff like that. And feel free to help us out with that, because everyone who has access to this has access to changing things up in that. We want this to be a learning, growing document. The big thing, though, that I want to draw people's attention to is the notebook. So right there, that's the big icon that we're going to want you to click on, and because that's going to take you to all the good stuff that we put together. So if I click on Notebook, we'll pull up the grade 9 Science D-Stream Writing Notebook, and this is what our team put together. And so these are all the sections. So just so in case you haven't used OneNote before, these sections are sort of like the tab sections in a binder. And so we've broken down, we've got a section on the overview of this resource and the planning. What's really neat is all the writers got a chance to put their thoughts and ideas about how to approach this resource, what's our philosophy when it comes to grade 9 science, and how we would approach teaching the course. And so you get a chance to see from all the different authors sort of what their take is, which is awesome, because now we can really learn from each other. One of the just so a real quick recap here, the resource is broken down into some core units that you see right here. And so in these units, we actually have lesson plans. And so if you go into each of those units, you'll see inquiry-based lessons, engineering-based lessons, case study-based lessons, and scientific literacy-based lessons. And not only will there be a breakdown of how to approach that lesson with all the resources and things like that. There'll also be, for you teaching nerds, a section with all the assessment stuff. So the learning goals, success criteria that can be posted up. And of course, the some information on what type of high impact teaching strategies can be employed when doing this lesson there, or a set of lessons that go with that resource. And so this is pretty cool. We put a lot of thought and work into it. And again, we're going to keep refining it and adding to it. And feel free to go in and add little thought bubbles and add resources and add your ideas in, because we want to, this is for people to use. And so if you have a different take, that's great. We do have a section right here on assessment where you can see some of the assessment tools that we've created. Feel free to put all of yours in there, and that way we can take a look at what each other's done. Maybe not a bad idea to put a little blurb, some text boxes in, sort of explain what you're doing. Again, for those super nerdy teacher nerds, some great resources on teaching strategies that we can use in the classroom. This section right here are just a repository for resources. So anything that you have that's great, you don't need to put a lesson plan together for it. You could just add a page and add your resources in. The one really important one, though, is the inquiry and engineering one. There we've put a lot of key resources that we would all like to see us all use and try in your classroom. There's a really important one there for planning, getting students to plan their inquiries. And we would like all grade 9 teachers to use that for all the inquiries. And you don't have to use all parts of it. Of course, you'll go through and take a look and see what's in there, but it's a great resource. And then that way, when we collaborate later and we sit down, we can say, hey, did this work well? What can we change about it? And how did our students respond using this? You can add pages in any section. So if you go into a section, you can add a page. And so in this section, we've got all of these pages right here. If we go into the intro unit, we actually have our first 12-ish days broken down with some other resources, and you can take a look and see what we've put together. And you don't have to do things in this order, but a lot of us are going to actually give it a try and sort of work together and use the same resource. So this is a web-based version of this, and some of you might like using the web-based version, some of you may not. So you can always click up here and open in the desktop app. And it may give you two choices, and what you want to do is make sure that the version of the desktop that you're going to open looks like this. You might see a OneNote Windows 10 version or something like that. Don't use that one. It's okay, it's just not as good. But if I open it up in the app, and you'll get this little thing here, boom, it brings you to the OneNote page. It looks a little bit different, but it's a little slicker. And the nice thing about it is you can do things like, say you want to add a page or something like that. There's a little add a page icon, and so if we want, we can jump to different resources and that. So let's say you have a space resource and you want to add a new page. You just click on the, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. Look at that. I showed you guys the wrong thing to do. That's okay, I can get rid of that later. So let's go back into resource page. We can, so we're in the resources space section. I can add a page there. And then you can type whatever you want. You can insert file printouts. You can just add an attachment, which is a little icon for the file. You can add video. In fact, if you want, just grab YouTube, find a good video, copy the link to the video, paste it anywhere on the page here, and you will get a thumbnail of the video that pops up, and you can actually watch the video in that window right on in OneNote, which is pretty slick. So you can add a whole bunch of different things here and play around with it. Anyways, I don't want to go too much further into that because I just gave you guys a lot of information, but feel free, please, to email me if you need a hand sort of going through this. But we'd love all the grade 9 teachers to really try out these resources. We had a great time working on them over the summer, and it's nice to be able to collaborate. So now we want to collaborate. We want to try this out and get an opportunity to collaborate throughout the semester and sit down and see how things worked and what we can do to make grade 9 such a great experience for our students. And who knows, maybe grade 10 might be Gstream, so we're sort of setting ourselves up for success if that ends up happening. Anyways, hope you enjoy this resource. Let us know what you think.